Thank you for the last presentation that you are here for. You never know if the drinks will outweigh the presentation, so I promise to be short. So a quick overview of the presentation. I'm going to go through Mundoro, what we do. We are essentially focused on the partner model for new discoveries. A lot of the presentations that you hear at the conferences are about specific projects that companies have acquired and are working on, but really our focus is to build a portfolio in Eastern Europe and then partner out that portfolio in order to diversify the risk, because exploration is risky enough. Specifically in Eastern Europe, we're focused on regions where there is very good infrastructure and there is lots of available talent, which is very important if a partner is going to come and actually build an operation in the future. So for those of us, or for those of you who do know us, here are the major milestones, certainly for the first half of 2020. We've got a partnership with JOGMEC in Bulgaria and in Serbia. In Serbia, we are currently drilling and we're testing the Borsko license for more of these lithocaps that are undercover. And essentially that program will be completed in the fourth quarter of this year. And in the first quarter of 2020, the results will be out. Then also with JOGMEC, we have a generative alliance that stretches into Bulgaria. So that's the following the Upper Cretaceous portion of the belt, which there is more of in the Bulgarian country. And there, by the end of the year, JOGMEC has the opportunity to pick one of those targets in order to enter into a license or into a joint venture with us in the country. So that'll be a separate joint venture, different from Serbia. Also in Serbia, we've got a partnership with Freeport. And Freeport, as many of you probably already know, has been in the district for well over 10, 15 years. And what they liked about this package that we have in southern Timok is that there is 14 kilometers of alteration, and a lot of that alteration looks like it can potentially be part of a porphyry system. So that is something that we are drill testing 5 target areas, and something that'll be announced in the first quarter of next year. And then new, and certainly a very interesting partner to come into the district is Vale. So Vale is the world's 3rd largest base metal company. They are obviously have an important portfolio in copper, believe in the copper potential of this district, and as a result have come into 4 licenses with us and will be working with us in 2020. And then, of course, we do our own generative work. We continue to provide new opportunities for our partners and for obviously new partners as well in order to get into the district. So this gives you a sense of our licenses. Really, our strategy is to create a package, a portfolio of licenses, find the right partners for that portfolio, and not every partner is perfect for every asset, so finding that right connection, and then operate those assets for the purpose of discovery. We also get paid operator fees in order to manage those assets in the beginning, and then once they get into a second phase operation, we hand over the keys, and what we usually negotiate is payments during that second phase. And ultimately, if any of these projects work out into a discovery and a future operation, you're not going to come back to us and ask us, well, how are you going to have the capital in order to put something like this in operation? The partner is already there, and there is a clear agreement right to the finish line for production. And what we want to maintain is a royalty in those portfolios. That's the upside for our shareholders. Not only is there equity upside because we've got a very tight share float, but we also have the opportunity for a portfolio of royalties, and that can become very lucrative, and no one in the district has done that, and we've been at this for about 9 years, and we think this is a very interesting area where you can build a very interesting copper and gold portfolio. So monetization of our assets is key. One of the common questions I get is if a project doesn't meet the requirements of a Freeport or a Vale or one of these large groups, what will you do? If there is a discovery and it doesn't meet their criteria, we will monetize that discovery to a smaller operator. And what we have definitely seen in the district over the last few years is that smaller operators are coming, they are looking for projects, and they are looking to invest. So we still think there's a healthy pipeline for smaller properties. This is on our website. It just basically describes to you the package, partner, discover, and monetize model, but please do spend time looking at that, but I've basically described it to you. This is also on the website. It basically gives you a sense of what do these agreements look like. They're generally in 2 phases. Phase 1, it's usually 3 years. The partner spends money in order to earn in 51%, and all of these agreements is about $5 million US. We get paid an operator fee in order to manage these programs. That helps alleviate our corporate costs and not have to go back to the market on a regular basis, which our shareholders genuinely appreciate. Phase 2, we want to hand it over to the partner that we have. We want them to operate, and we usually negotiate payments during that time frame while they're working on the projects. And then ultimately, we want to be in a position where we dilute down into a royalty, and then that's that future value for the company. This is what our expenditures look like. The blue is all of the money going in the ground. Those are project expenditures. The dark blue is the partner funding. So you can see that the lion's share of the actual money going in the ground is from partners. The light blue is Mundoro's, and that money is to maintain these licenses that are not partnered out yet in good standing, and second, to keep building the portfolio of projects. So that has obviously decreased our costs because now we have more partners in the company. So certainly for 2020, we're going to see lower expenditures on the project side. And the orange is the corporate expenses. So what we always aim for is about $200,000 per quarter. And as we get operator fees, that amount decreases. And what we want to get to is a situation where we have enough fees coming in the company where we're no longer requiring any money for corporate expenses. And again, that's something that our shareholders are very supportive of. This slide is meant to show you that there is a lot of interest in this district. Not only is there great discovery potential, but there is a lot of groups hunting around, and that makes the M&A opportunity also very lucrative. So we've got operator fees with small capital dilution in the company. We've got an equity opportunity for when a discovery happens. We have a royalty opportunity over the long term, and then of course there's an M&A opportunity in the district. I think all of those things are really important because you need as many opportunities to make money in an exploration investment because, as we all know, exploration is very high risk. This just kind of gives you a sense of where the space is. We're certainly one of the less valued equities in this market, and I think that's the opportunity for new investors. Do take a look at us in terms of what it looks like compared to a lot of our peers, and we think that for the volume of work that we do, for the amount of drilling that happens, for the fact that we run all of these operations, compared that to most of our peers, and you'll see that our dilution is very low and that we have one of the best success rates in terms of generating partnerships. We were about 60% institutionally held. We're about 40% retail. And what you can basically see here is in the share price, it goes up and down with these programs. But generally, what we see now is about a $12 million valuation for the company. The team is exceptionally important. No discovery happens without the right team, and this team has been built around these assets. We actually got involved in this district back in 2010 originally. By 2011, we had put in all of our applications, and in 2012, we started building this team. Our exploration managers have a lot of experience in the district, well over 30 years, with a lot of the majors like Rio, with Anglo, with Newmont. And that's an important part because these partnerships and these programs that we run for these partners are big programs, and it's important that the team can handle them. And you can see here we've got a staff of well over 20. So the district is very important also because of the One Belt, One World policy of China. There's a lot of investment going into Eastern Europe. And basically, when you look at the district, right now, Zijing has made a huge investment in the Timok region. They actually own a lion's share of the mines. They're about 2/3 owner in 3 of the mines and 100% owner in the Chukaropeki deposit, which recently was announced that Freeport has sold them the lower zone. So we're in 3 important districts. We have certainly 4 key relationships now in terms of partnerships. Our approach is to have multiple projects with multiple partners and be able to create that discovery by being part of the basically being the operator in phase 1 and being part of that discovery process and then monetizing those discoveries. And I think that basically puts me out of time. And this is a picture of Serbia so that you can see very clearly that these mines are with the communities. And that's actually an important image to end with. You know, Eastern Europe, I think, gets a reputation for being a place where it might be difficult to do business. In reality, in the Boer district, there's a town here of 35,000 people, and everybody here is supportive of mining. And that is something that only 100 years of investment can do. And we're certainly basically benefit from that type of investment from prior governments. So that's the presentation, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.